All right, no suspense. Life. Pure consciousness reflecting itself in a mirror, seeing itself in a mirror, suddenly thinking that reflection which is in mirror is itself, and when there is some movements or unnecessary shake or unnecessary experiences happens inside the mirror, remembering, no, I am the original consciousness. This reflection is not me. And coming back to the understanding that original is me, not the reflection. After coming back to the understanding, original is me, not the reflection, realizing not only original, even the reflection is me. My own reflection is life. Whatever can be said, I think I have said the whole thing. Superconsciousness means the cosmic soul. Seeing the reflection in the mirror means the human body. And enjoying its own reflection in the human body, because it is enjoying so deeply, suddenly it starts thinking that the consciousness in the human body is itself. So it mistakes reflection for its original existence. Naturally, the mirror is not eternal. So whatever the mirror goes through, the reflection also has to go through. If the mirror is hot, reflection will feel it is hot. If the mirror is cold, reflection will feel it is cold. If some dirt falls on the mirror, reflection will feel some dirt is on itself. If it is cleaned and garlanded, reflection will feel it's respected. Because of these changes, reflection suddenly starts contemplating, no. I may not be this, because I remember myself as something big, beyond this. So you regain the knowledge, no, I am the original consciousness, not this reflection. And after you regain that I am the original consciousness, that clarity, that freedom, now you realize, hey, I am this, I am the original consciousness, true, but reflection also my own. So I can enjoy, nothing wrong. I can enjoy. I don't have to get caught with the identity that I am the reflection, but that is my reflection. As Ramana Maharshi says, for a normal person, body is me. For an enlightened person, body is mine. That's all. Body is also me. This is the essence of the life. Actually, you don't need to go through even any sadhana or technique. If you just remember whatever is happening in you, is it really me? All the things which I am going through, is it really me? Or the mirror? Just this remembrance. This remembrance. You don't even need sadhana or technique or method or tapas to awaken yourself. I look into the life in different dimensions, the different dimensions. See, the pure consciousness reflecting itself in the mirror is the cosmos. Long, long ago, once upon a time, and you enjoying the reflection is assuming the body. Suddenly realizing or thinking that you are the reflection, which happens at the age of 14 in the physical maturity. And reflection, going through all the mood swings and feeling, am I this just reflection or just this reflection? Few janmas. Suddenly remembering, no, I am the consciousness, enlightenment. Remembering, no, I am not only consciousness, it is my reflection, Jivan Mukti. That's all. The step by step I have described. The different spaces of life are different parts of life are different portions of life. So I can give you one or two simple tips. Do whatever you know is right. If not, at least do something. Because you will be beaten by the life. You will end up in right thing. Let the life constantly happen in you. Do what is right. If you don't know, at least go on doing something. Your body is the mirror. Your super consciousness reflects on that body. Then suddenly it starts thinking that body is me. Purpose of life is, see, there is a meaning in life. I can say every moment, enjoy. Just one wave is rising and falling into the ocean. What is the purpose? When you see from outside, no, it is something to add to the ocean. Can a wave add to ocean? Then how can you add anything to life? You are a wave of a life. Infrastructure is not purpose. It's like a, no, wave comes out of ocean so that it can collect some pebbles and bring it and donate it to ocean. No, wave comes out of the ocean to add something to ocean. Life has no purpose. What's the connection between the superconsciousness and the reflection? What is the exact connection between the light and the reflection? What's the connection between me and my reflection seen on the mirror? If something happens to them, will anything happen to me? But if whatever I do will happen on it. It is the almost unclutched clutch. See, if I move my hand, it will move. But if somebody breaks that image, nothing will happen to me. If I move my hand, something will happen. Whatever I do, it will do. Clutched. Whatever happens to that, nothing will happen to me. Unclutched. Unclutched clutching. That's the relationship. It started actually casually only. With all the problems which you are seeing now, for you, was not a problem. For example, you see, because I am here, whatever is happening in the mirror is not a problem at all. If I gaze at the mirror too strongly, closely, slowly, oh God, it looks really wonderful. The reflection is amazing. Then actually sometime you will lose the idea and you will think that that is you. Only, it's actually when you started feeling connection with the body, it was not this difficult and bondage. After you started, suddenly you realize you got into the bondage, you got into the commitment without your knowledge. So how does your questioning after it became a mess? But when you start, it was very casual. It's like you went for a party and it became chaos. You went for just kind of a you went to a park for a walk and there was some big terrorist attack. Then will you question, why did I first of all go to park? Who made me go to park? Somebody gave me the idea to go to park and they planned, conspired, sent me to park and created terrorist attack. No, it was such a casual decision and it became mess. When the body touches the prana, life enters. Sometime the life may be so powerful, it will start expressing the things which are never even heard by mother. See, body, I can say 10 kg worth of information, or I can say 1 ton worth of information. Body contains. The soul which lands on the body, if it is so pure, conscious, aware, it can bring 10 ton information in one small chip and land with it and completely wipe out the informations and muscle memory of the mother and do its own drama. But ordinary kids, the body will carry 10 memory. When it comes, it will bring only 0.5 ton memory. 0.5 or 0.1. So naturally that child will live as per the family, as per the record. Soul or the consciousness, that decides what will start expressing. You are Sutta Swayam Prakasa Jyoti. You are alive and you know you are alive and you are enjoying your aliveness by your own existence. Why is the reflection as different in appearance or further from the original, so incomplete? Because it is not reflecting on a clear mirror, it is reflecting on a chaotic mirror. Before the reflection started, even the idea of reflection did not exist. So the reflection will not be able to understand how it was before. You understand? Reflection, whole can understand reflection, but the reflection can never understand the whole. Because the very idea you have about you is wrong. The very idea reflection carries about itself is wrong. Then how can it understand the original? Reflection thinks it is standing topsy-turvy. How can then it understand how the original is standing? It seems so vast. This enlightenment is not purpose of human birth. When you understand enlightenment is not purpose of human birth, you will just become enlightened. See, anything you put as a purpose, you delay it and make it too big. Actually, I tell you, even in the normal lifestyle, if you put 1 lakh rupee per month as your purpose, it look too big. Make it as 10 crore as your purpose per month. Simply 1 lakh will happen. That's all. That's why I go on saying that, hey, make 3,000 temples. By the time this fellow is frightened and wakes up and does 5 temples, it's a too big work. Reflection cannot have its own intelligence. It has to follow the superconsciousness. No. It does not have its own intelligence, that is true, but it does not follow the original reflection.
For example, when you are moving your hand, the reflection has your reflection in the mirror has to move its hand.
No, but if the mirror is topsy-turvy, it will move the left hand. It doesn't have to be corresponding. And if the mirror is some different shape, when I move the right hand, maybe 10 kg flesh moves. In that only one small bit will move. Or if the mirror is in different shape, if I move my whole body, my 70 kg flesh moves, but in the mirror only small movement. Or if I make even a small movement, the mirror it will be too big movement.
Then
So the coordination is not logical.
who is responsible for the ill-formed mirror? I mean,
Reflection is responsible. See, who is responsible, I don't know. Reflection is suffering, that's all I know. Because reflection is suffering, we may come to the conclusion, reflection must have been responsible. See, whatever is said and sufferer is responsible. So sufferer is responsible here also. How do we feel our individuality? That we have our own intelligence and linking power. I think I answered yours. What is the mind in this mirror example? What are thoughts? How do they film? The dust. Our life is realizing my body is mine. A reflection, physical aspect of superconsciousness. Alison, right, you are right. Also, what is I relationship to me and mine? What is the I in relationship to me and mine? There is no I actually. Just for using, we are using. Alison, there is no I. The body is a reflection of consciousness. Does this mean the consciousness has focus? No. Consciousness has no focus, Gardner. Consciousness has a form. No. It has no form. Even the form is because of the dust in the mirror. It has no form. The formlessness suddenly starts feeling as form. Because of superconsciousness, we were able to get trapped into reflection. Does that mean even the superconscious state is not perfect? No. It is perfect. The trapped is not perfect. What all questions? Some say that some children today are born with a high level of consciousness. They are called indigo or crystal children. What can you tell us about this? Susan, it is true. Indigo kids are landing on the planet Earth. The possibility for new human beings is opened. But unfortunately, we are putting them under medicines and constantly keeping them under the, how to say that, induced state. Superconsciousness is not under the illusion. Illusion thinks it is superconsciousness. Superconscious never thinks it is illusion. Worker thinks he is a leader. Leader never thinks he is a worker. Huh? Worker first of all assumes he exists. The dust on the mirror, it assumes he exists. No, he did not exist in the frequency of the leader, but he exists in the very low frequency, I can say. You understand? Not the depth of this light, but very like a small candle light. How does the mirror get stained at all? Vishwas, oh God. Because it is done, Vishwas, you are asking how do the engrams formed? That's what I am saying. Because it is such a casual decision, you did not, why did you go for walking in the park? There is no, see anything casual, there is no why. Only when it becomes difficult and when it becomes a criminal case, you start inquiring. You understand? It's like one guy was walking in the road and terrorist attack. Then you start inquiring, why did he first come to the road? But when he came, there was no purpose. Just casual walk. See, it is dust you consider as ignorance now. Because you are in low mood. When you are in that mood, it is not even dust or ignorance. You understand?
You're saying this dust is casual and it just formed, but we didn't see it as a problem.
So even now, if you don't see it as a problem, you don't have dust. All I am trying to teach is not even dusting. I am trying to teach it is not a problem. Look at the original. You see, it's not that I do not have the qualities you have. I have all the qualities you have. But I don't feel as a dust. Because I have some more bigger space. Where these qualities does not exist and I exist as me. See, there is no place you can hide from Vishnu Ram Mohan. He will continue to hunt you. But there is a big space where I can hide from Nityananda. He will not hunt me. You understand? That's all.
Swamiji, I have a question. Once we're able to tap into the cosmic intelligence, then are we then into a meditative state where we live enlightenment?
That's all. For the third time now, while I am writing my question, you answered it. Before I finish writing it, I think we should just sit and think questions and then you can answer them directly. So we can all hear the answer. I like the expression, don't mistake the map for the territory. You give us the best map and teach us how to reach the territory. Yes. At any stage of your evolution, during any life, if someone realizes they are the original source, is the whole drama over. Yes. That's all. That's all is the whole drama. For example, with the example of Hitler, as we were speaking, how does one become that way? Does he have to do with the life, parent, circumstance they chose in treat that led them? It's nothing to do with birth, life and all those things, ma. But with the samskaras, it will be very difficult to look. Less samskaras, easy to look, that's all. These are only a almost rule, but there are exemptions. Swamiji, with this technical knowledge, should we still enjoy pleasures of senses in this world? Do you feel pleasure through senses? You can actually, with this technical knowledge, also enjoy the pleasures in the world, nothing wrong. So you are asking me, do you feel pleasure through senses? No, I don't feel pleasure through senses. I just use senses, but there is no pleasure through senses. It's like a deep down the tongue, 10 times more sweetness is constantly going on. What will I feel in the tip of the tongue? Deep down where the eyes process is going on, the intense ecstasy is going on. What will I feel in the tip of the eyes? So, tip of the eyes, if you feel the pleasure, you are human. Deep down the root of the senses, if you feel the pleasure, you are divine. Just going a little deep. The eardrum, if you feel the pleasure of the music, you are human. The depth where the sounds are processed, if you feel the constant pleasure, you are divine. That's what I call pratyagara. Sagajananda. I think all of you understand. Where the information touches your senses, you feel pleasure there. Where the information gets processed, I feel pleasure there itself.
If we enjoy a sweet, say from the tip of the tongue, at that moment, can we transfer that pleasure in?
It's too much. This way it doesn't travel. It takes too much time. That way only it travels. See, people can feel pleasure by seeing me or listening to me. This body itself does not feel pleasure. But it's not that I am insensitive. I do reciprocate the love or anything of the people. I do reciprocate. But that itself does not add something great or big to me. There is no craving or remembrance or nothing. No, you won't miss me. You will be in me. How will you miss me? You understand? There won't be missing. If you don't miss me, you see, actually, there are some people who don't miss me because they don't know me. That's different. If you know that with Vidarka, if you don't miss, you are enlightened. After your explanation of mirror and dust, I have understood that I only need to unclutch which will remove the dust. That's all. without asking these questions. Once dust is removed, the rest will happen. That's all. Having the goal of enlightenment delays it. Do we have to have a goal beyond that to reach it? Yes. Means living whatever you think as enlightenment from now. Divakara has done some architectural drawing. Oh, from Ramana Maharshi's teaching, na? Ramana Maharshi has made this drawing. Life, mind, consciousness. See, this is consciousness, this is lens, this is life. You can call. I can say this drawing is almost right. The technical knowledge you are giving has opened and tickled my mind, making me want more and more answers. Why can't my reflection be satisfied with the knowledge? Kim, come on, start the search. Premeshri, Swami, you had once mentioned that beyond a point even the concept of karma does not make sense. So is it right to say that the karma is something that applies to the reflection only? Yes, right. Premeshri, you are right. Once you start looking towards the original and see that reflection is a reflection, karma no longer applies. Yes. Once you know the reflection is reflection, karma is for reflection, it does not apply. Premeshri? Whenever I do Guru Puja, I keep small Meru also with your padukas to keep me reminding you are not just the body. Am I going correctly? You are right. Please comment on I am one, let me be many. That's what that casual decision landed in all this mess. It's like a sun was there and 10 parts were there. In all 10 parts it started reflecting. If you break one by one all the parts, all the reflections will disappear. Then in the end what remains? You can't call it only sun. Only with the reflection you can call it as only sun. When there is no reflection, how will you even use the word only sun? What is, is. You say choosing a reflection was a casual decision. Why can't we just casually decide to look back at the original? That is actually casual decision. You are not making, that is a problem. It seems much harder to get back than it was to leave. See, when you leave, you think you have the realization you are the original. So it's a small decision. But when you want to go back, you are from this corner. You understand? Yeah, elephant becoming ant is very easy. The ant trying to become elephant, that's where the problem starts. You understand? From this corner to this corner is easy. From that corner to... Matter shall reveal the spirit's face. Is that not purpose of life? I can say it's a meaning of life, not purpose. Purpose is a different idea, no? Understanding. Joke on life. By the time I realized what my father said was right, I had a kid telling me that I am wrong. Even that is perfectly all right. You had a grandkid who is telling you are wrong. It's too late. Understand? By the time I realized what my father said was right, I had a kid who was telling I am wrong. That's also okay. But if you say by the time I realized what my grandfather said is right, I had a grandchild to say that I am wrong. If you don't experience through senses, then what was going on? When you were in USA traveling and you experienced the taste of some nuts, and you turned to the ashramite and said you should have this body, then we went into samadhi after tasting. Understand? When I was putting something in the tongue, I don't feel the joy in this tip itself. The moment the tip starts feeling the joy, it sends the message to the throat and that starts feeling and the samadhi starts happening. It's like a telegram reaching. And only then I said, oh God, this kind of body should be the body to live. You said the reflection created the mirror. If we are the reflection, then did we create the cosmic law? Or does cosmic law apply to that outside of the mirror? If you become original source, cosmic law does not apply for you. Till you become the source, cosmic law gets applied. No. For all the reflection's sake, the cosmos created itself. Can a creative process such as music or art connect one to our consciousness. I can't say completely connect, it can give the smell.
Nityananda was born in the South Indian temple town of Tiruvannamalai on 1st January 1978. Guided by great yogis of Tiruvannamalai, at the age of 12 he had his first Samadhi experience. At 17, he left home and wandered over 9,000 kilometers on foot, meeting different masters and learning different techniques. At the age of 21, he attained the state of ultimate consciousness. Nityananda Mission was started by Nityananda with its headquarters at Bangalore. The mission has now reached 33 countries. With 120 ashrams, 1,500 centers, 30 Vedic temples and over 2.2 million initiated disciples, the mission is spreading the ancient Vedic knowledge and culture far and wide. With the vision of creating an enlightened community, he personally conducts programs like the 21 Days Inner Awakening Workshop.
In this program, I am opening all dimensions so that all human beings can enter. Whatever dimensions, whatever components I have experienced, I am opening everything.
I'm Amar Shah from London in the UK, and I'm an accountant. Coming here to Inner Awakening was probably one of the best decisions I ever made. Every day has just been amazing with just new revelations, new techniques. Swamiji really working on us, and I can already feel the transformation.
Paramahamsa Nityananda conducts Inner Awakening, a 21-day enlightenment intensive course, and Life Bliss Engineering, a 3-month course for having a yogic body and Vedic mind. Visit www.dhyanapeetham.org. Call 919731257960, 919742203311,